if thinking the way how those really cool family trees have done, it's totally impossible because in Finland the circles are so small. So nearly everyone have been playing with nearly everyone. And if we try to do a family tree like it should be like this block and then this guy went to that one and that one went to that one and he came from that one and played with these. So it's totally impossible just because of the reason that everyone have been playing with nearly everyone. Yeah, but it's like, as I said, it's really hard to understand because years went like this and then I really do not even understand that 30 years went like this.
I'm a friend, not the foe. All the ignorant out there.
But let's keep it that way, that I am 25.
In spirit.
Yeah. I hope I would be wiser, but I do not even believe that myself. Okay, I'm more cynical nowadays. I would love to be the same kind of person as I used to be, but I'm working in music business and that's my profession. I'm working with names like Nightwish or Children of Bodom who are in roster for the company I'm working. And nowadays when I'm seeing when the new bands are coming, it's like if I would be in the same situation, I think that I wouldn't even bother just because of the reason that I said I'm more cynical, but nowadays everything is just business. And of course you could do, you could be a rebel, do something against that, but then it means that you will be in an underground for the rest of your career. You know, black metal ain't underground in Finland. Metal ain't underground in Finland anyway. It's like metal is one of the biggest mainstream things in Finland. I'm pretty sure that all big metal bands are selling much more in Finland than Lady Gaga or Adele or something like that. So it's much more commercial and a much more major thing than for example those mentioned Lady Gagas and Adeles and Rihannas and the others. But Gothic rock is very, very underground. Like I'm organizing the biggest Gothic festival in Finland. I have been organizing that 17 years now, and it's really hard to gather even for a few hundred people, even that we are bringing like middle-size international names, something like Project Pitchfork or Leather Strip or Incubus Succubus or Nosferatu and the others to play in Finland, and we can't still get more than like 300-400, maybe 500 people per night. And metal festivals in Finland could easily gather like 20,000-30,000 people per night. So the distance is really, really huge.
It's us against the world. We celebrate. We sit united.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the only way to survive is doing it the same way as Art Out is doing, that he's nowadays in his own label and trying to keep everything in his own hands, just because of the reason that that's how you could get at least something for yourself. Okay, there became many great bands in 90s, there became many great bands in 80s as well. Many of my big favorites became from 90s, like Love Like Blood, for example, Turning Mount Land, Kind of Delight. Yeah, okay. but also many of my big favorites started in 80s. Because I have been living for both of those decades, I came to Gothic circles in 1980. So I have been in circles 37 years now, and it's really hard to compare those. I think that years are just rolling on, and that's why it's really hard to think different decades. Things are going, things are coming, and many of those things go all the time. And it's the same thing that in all of those decades there have been really good things and things that no one remembers anymore.
So much hatred in the air that will ruin the scene.
We have been writing some new stuff. To be honest, I do not know if the new album comes or when it comes. It was the same thing. I answered the same thing all the time when we did some 7 inches and maxi CDs and new compilations before GOTHIC. And all the time we were releasing something. People just didn't notice that, just because of the reason that they didn't notice that we did maxi singles or we did 7 inches or that there were new songs in the compilations or something like that. But my biggest thing is nowadays that I do not want to release anything if I'm not 100% satisfied. And I have seen my name and my face in so many records already that personally I do not need that. But I need the feeling that this was the thing. And like with GOTHIC, the studio album we did 3 years ago, it was the latest studio album we did. It was a thing that I had the lyrics for the whole B-side of the album. It's one story from Mr. Devil until A Dream Within a Dream. It's a story about a guy who sees his doppelganger in the mirror and then what happens after that, and song after song it continues. So it must have been exact songs in exact places. It was like our version of rock opera. And then it just took so many years as it took just because of the reason that I wanted to have the record I wanted to have. And that's why we have been composing new stuff, but when it comes out, I can't say it yet because I don't know. Nowadays it's 1 million times better, or like 10 million times better. Especially for poor bands like us, we didn't ever have enough time for recordings, and honestly some of our records have done like 1 day for recording and the next day for mixing the whole album, and that was all. And if there was some mistakes, those are still in the records. We didn't have time to repair anything. It was a thing that we had to do like that. We do not have any friends who are able to do it, and we do not have knowledge or time to do it by ourselves. That's the main thing. Like videos needs knowledge or money or time, and we don't have any of that. We would love to do those all the time. Unfortunately, we should need someone to do it for us. But if there are someone who wants to volunteer,